basically the Supreme Court is in the process of weighing in, I guess making a decision on the temporary status thing. Let's play this real quick.
Administration says things has allowed the Trump administration to end temporary deportation protection for those who've made a life in America and send Haitians back to a country under gang control. Labor advocates, community leaders, and elected officials raising so many concerns now about workforce disruptions, economic impact, and in some cases, families just simply being torn apart. Joining us now, Sperline Joseph, the executive director of the Haitian Bridge Alliance, a San Diego based nonprofit that supports Haitian immigrants. And it's good to see you again, because anytime we are talking about Haiti, we'd love to have your perspective. You know, the Trump administration says things are better in Haiti and that people can go back. What are Haitians telling you from the inside?
Thank you so much for having me. Just to begin, I want to highlight that a week and a half ago, Congress had a hearing and it was talking about the fact that 17 children and 30 civilians, adults, were killed, 47 total, by what seems to be UN drones. And what the military personnel who oversees those issues in Haiti stated was they are at war. So to say that Haiti is safe right now while U.S. military are saying that they are in a war zone really highlight the realities on the ground. And the people we talk to every day, they are afraid to go back because young woman explained to me that her entire neighborhood was burned down. She has nowhere to go back to. And obviously the Haitian government is unable to protect the people and provide safety if they were to be returned.
So there are a lot of U.S. born citizen children with Haitian parents. What are those families planning to do?
Right now, to be honest with you, the children are afraid. Children are afraid to go to school. They're afraid to go to summer school. They're afraid to go to their appointments because we are experiencing one of the things that could be the largest, what we call offense by deportation. When those children who are U.S. born from TPS parents who might be deported, leaving those children behind, understanding we already have a broken foster care system, instead of allowing those parents to raise their children to become great citizens as they continue to pay their taxes and give back to this community, we are seeing right now we have a government that is removing the legal status. These are people who had legal status and they have removed their legal status now live.
No, no, no. That's the thing. That's the thing right there. That got to stop. The title is temporary. Temporary. Like that's fair. Okay, there's a whole process to being a citizen, right? And one of the points that's going to come up in these other videos is the fact that if you're saying that this person has been here so long that they made roots here, that means you've been here for a long time. And I get that it costs money to become a citizen and stuff like that. But if you want to stay in the country, why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? And one of the reasons why is because a lot of people don't understand that the way, all right, so let's say, this is what I've seen in the Haitian community and in the Latin community. The Latin community can be so tight knit that people will literally never learn English. So when people don't learn the language of the land, and they go about life to the point where like, yo, they're not able to have a conversation in the language of this land. They cannot speak. They cannot have a conversation with you in English. And a lot of you don't know how many of them are out here. And these aren't people who just got here. These are people who've been living here their whole life. And that's because everyone they're going to speak to speaks Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Because in your mind, you would think about, damn, if you move to a different country, the first thing that would stress you out, if you was moving to China, right? Let's say you're going to China, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to live in China, what you would probably think about is like, damn, I have to learn Mandarin, or I have to learn the language, I have to learn how to read. I mean, and I'm sure that would be a big concern of yours, right? Because, like, damn, I'm in a new country, right? And I'm going to have to learn the language. Not these people. And another thing, too, is you got to realize that certain mindsets in other countries, it come with them here. So I think that the main conversation to have is about what's fair and what's going on. If you have a temporary status, you were never meant to be able to stay somewhere forever. The idea was that these people were getting asylum here because of how bad it was in their country. You know what I mean? And which again, if you think about it, that's a huge solid to do for someone to say, all right, listen, I know in your country things are really bad. You're not able to really get jobs, a lot of poverty. You can come here, and and you had like a big head start, right? And I'm gonna play a few clips in a minute, but it's important to really make sure that this is framed properly. You know what I mean? This people didn't have legal status would mean that you are an actual citizen. They were never citizens. You can only stay in any country if you're a citizen. That's why they have visas. That's why they have green cards. It's a whole process. Why are we talking like acting like we don't understand? If this was any other person, if this is someone from Zimbabwe, if they were from Zimbabwe, Uganda, right? If they wanted to work, they would have to get a what? A work visa. Use your heads, man. Y'all taking too many stupid pills. Ease up on the stupid pills. I don't need that kind of love. I ain't play no sounds that like mad long. Come on, man.
What's your white woman name?
Word.
They gave me mine. It's Janice.
Having children whose parents could be deported at any time.
Wow. Well, the U.S. has said that letting Haitian, migrants remain is contrary to the U.S. national interest. What do you say to that?
It is in the best interest of the United States right now to make sure that they protect the current TPS holders in the United States. The reality is those TPS holders literally provide 20% of Haiti's GDP, which means it provides a level of stability economically in Haiti. In addition to that, those TPS holders are our healthcare workers, our hospitality workers. They are the ones taking care of the elderly. We are seeing companies saying we are losing our most prized, employees who are able to really care for the elderly and the sick in the United States. At the same time, providing.
So that should look like AI. It says TPS holders make the U.S. stronger, permanent status for immigrant families. And this is just not really how things work, man. And this is really important because this was what's going on. When you buy into the propaganda, especially the propaganda of the left, where they want to constantly get you to think that you need to rebel, right? And that there's something righteous about disagreeing with rules. But the thing is that these rules are what protect you and me. Because if we don't have rules, then again, this great country we live in, it ceases to exist. Even saying stuff like that, it's weird to people to hear someone talk about how great America is. That's freaking crazy. Like look at how big of a deal it is for someone to be asked to go back to their original country, unless they're from like London or some shit, or like Australia, or maybe some places in Europe. That's the only time, or Canada. That's the only time people are not extremely stressed out about going back home, because those are first world places. It may be tough for them back there, right? But it's not the same. Again, when in them kind of countries, nigga, that shit is lawless. It's not a game. You'll die for $10, my nigga. But I want to kind of speak to what basically people who identify as FBA, African American people, feel about this news. And I ain't gonna lie, some of it is niggas popping it, but I wanna play this clip real quick from this lady. God damn, nigga, she got rolls on her neck.
Ohio has about 30,000 Haitians. Folks received a letter in the mail that told them that they had to go to this facility. They had no idea that part of going to this facility would mean that they would end up with ankle monitor. You would get two options. You get $2,600 and a one-way ticket, or you get this ankle monitor. When these folks are wearing these ankle monitors, it monitors them and limits them. They can only travel 75 miles within their address.
What you mean 75 miles? Where the hell you going that's more than 75 miles every day? They're not fighting crime. They're not part of the Justice League. They're not coming to thwart Lex Luthor. Now, yeah, if you gotta go fight crime, I understand. It'd be that's something different. And another thing I'm gonna comment on is this notion that when these people leave, that the economy is going to suffer. These are the same jobs that people are not getting. Americans can't get because they're getting it because what they do. Excuse me. At a lot of these places is, and I was like, hold on, how this person's not a citizen? How is this person able to work at this place? Because they're being hired because a lot of them are able to come here and do independent contractor jobs, right? And not only that, the whole hustle of like the all like the gig economy shit, Instacart, DoorDash, and whatnot. And it's not just Haitian people, but just immigrants in general. Because before you had to do like a cash job, under the table type of job to make some money in the country until you became a citizen. But the idea was also that ideally you would assimilate somewhat. And a lot of people who weigh in on this topic, especially black people, because black people have this complex of basically just being anti-white for the sake of being anti-white, without like educating yourself, without really taking time and making the effort to form your own thoughts. A lot of y'all don't realize that you do not take time to form your own original opinions. And a lot of that's because you don't have a personal code. You have no substance. You rarely think you rarely think about doing the right thing, and you rarely sacrifice. You rarely sacrifice being comfortable. I seen you. I was there. I'm not going for it. We gotta talk about it. So what she's saying is, no, again, you're saying that where you're from is so bad that if you went there, it just means death. Which also is like, God damn, bro. Like, what is it about y'all that where you're from is so dangerous? And if where you're from is that dangerous, people gotta think about like, all right, what mindsets come from that shit. Even like when it comes to like stealing packages, yo, like porch pirating and crime in general is really going up because we got a lot of people here who were not documented. So, pardon me, I'm sorry about this so much. Couldn't find out. Now I've heard this, but now it's hitting differently about how the borders were open during the Biden administration, and a lot of people have connected the fact that the Biden administration wanted to keep this going on because they wanted to ingratiate the Haitian community into the left, so that in the future they'll be able to still get elected. All right, because this was a personal favor that they were doing. This was to make sure they can secure that vote in the future. And I mean, and then you saw a huge surge, and for the most part, I can confirm for you, yes, there was a lot more. It's a lot more just illegals in general. Matter of fact, if you live in the hood, because they all in the hood, where they from, they don't have driving laws. These people don't stop at the stop sign. They will hit you with the fucking car. Okay, you know what I'm saying? They will rush. I be seeing like every time I see someone like run a red light, you know what I mean? Turn on a corner you can't turn on. It's always someone who looks like they not really from here. You know what I mean? Just in general. And again, they not learning English. They don't know how to read English. They for the most part just going to their job and coming home. Right? And then, but again, that's the power of community. So again, if you were moving somewhere, right, I would imagine that you would take the steps to become a citizen that that embodies what the country is about, as well as speak the language, or at least make it to where like you're able to have have a decent conversation, Yes.
And to put more insult to injury, if they need to go further, they must call ICE and ask for permission. We're talking about the United States government, destabilized by the French government, who labor has always been used as. In 1990, thought that there was some solace with the TPS program. And now what we experience is that being taken away from workers who have been here for 30, 20 years.
And of course, we got a big back end making excuses. When you say that, you for the most part defeat your own argument. If they've been here for 20 or 30 years, what stopped them from pursuing permanent status? We're not hearing no conversation about who was blocking y'all from going to the proper channels, right? You know what I'm saying, to achieve citizenship. if you've been here for 30 years. And a lot of that has to do with, your principles, how you think about things, your long-term thinking. Again, at the end of the day, we have to have a conversation about grown-ass people who have a mindset of, you supposed to take care of me. Someone is supposed to do something for me. I don't have to work for this money. I don't have to try hard. You supposed to give me something. And that's another reason why a lot of y'all niggas don't have a problem with it, or y'all want to jump on every single bandwagon and whatnot, because you buy into the mindset of that savior complex. Someone is coming to give you something. Someone is coming to relieve you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta save yourself. You gotta fight. Every day is a struggle. Every day is a battle. You understand? So I want to play these clips. I ain't gonna lie. These FBAs is talking greasy to y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all, nigga. Now these ain't my words, necessarily my views, nothing like that. But goddamn, they lighting y'all up in here.
Freedom and deportation has become.
Slow down, so you don't necessarily need to pause.
And see, without taking care of the basics, which is your citizenship.
Haitians, how y'all doing? Huh? Pray for Haitians.
If you know that you are a part of a program that is temporary, why are you creating permanency without taking care of the basics, which is your citizenship?
Haitians, how y'all doing?
So we gotta go ahead and set things up. We gotta realize that again, the whole Somalia gate, those Somalians all coming online in full force, talking greasy and talking crazy to Black Americans, and on top of that, cause this is coming to find out just how people who are not FBA think of Black Americans and whatnot. It's a thing that we've always heard. So I think after the pandemic, again, I think that was a part of the awakening too, is having a conversation about how people who are not foundational Black Americans, how they talk about us, how they treat us, how they speak on our name and do not respect the sacrifices and the history of this country, and the fact that you are coming here after everything was done. All right, Haitian people have as far as like in the numbers, because immigration in general has gone up over the years, right? So and when people coming to the country, different things happen. But I'm not sure where it is in the video, but this young lady makes a good point about what does it say about a group when they share an island with another country, and a country actually built a wall specifically to keep them from coming over, which is like, damn, like what, but Americans don't have enough. Again, we're so comfortable with our way of life and whatnot, we don't really ever think about like, all right, if someone does not think enough of becoming a citizen of this country to go through the process and just obey the rules and everything, then why should they be able to stay in the country? Because if you went to any other country, you couldn't pull that. You couldn't say, hey, man, I got a job here. I'm like, you had 30 years to apply. You had 30 years to save the money. Matter of fact, if it had took you 10 years to save up to become a citizen, it would have been worth it. So by year 30, when this is happening, you say, oh shit, well, I'm a citizen. But anyway, all that shit talking, right? It's gotten us to where we are now. And a lot of Black Americans, FBA people who are foundational Black Americans, they do not sympathize or feel for these people at all. Especially given, the past. Check them out.
Huh? Pray for Haitians, Syrians, and other immigrants affected by the recent Supreme Court ruling. Pray your head, pray your hand. Haitian flag, Haitian flag.
Not Haitian flag, Haitian flag.
Her name Maureen, that's funny. That's my aunt's middle name is Maureen. But yeah, family, pause to read if you need to. I slowed down, so you don't necessarily need to pause if you don't need to, but you can pause to read if you need to. Boy, they are feeling it. Please help block any of the white people. The white people y'all love so dearly. I'm gonna take a seat on this one. The white people y'all love so dearly.
Not take a seat.
Is it they saying block them? Because remember, they were the good Negroes. They don't bark back and bulk back. Huh?
I'm gonna jump ahead.
They do what they're talking.
But I digress. But since we have a crime with immigration,
I want to go ahead and give this black woman her flowers for actually sitting up while doing the damn video. Black women will come online with a bonnet on me and try to drop jewels. And sometimes what they be saying is a good cook, but bro, you got a bonnet on. That's the same as me trying to tell you about my life and the key to happiness. And you can see my boxers. They're plaid. No respect, man. Let's check out Auntie.
legal immigration. But I digress. But since we have a crisis on our hand, I believe that the border should be closed to anybody wanting to come in for the next 15, 20 years. That part. But I do have a message
not
for
that
you
part.
temporary status, Haitians, Syrians, Somalians, whomever. Well, you know, time is up. Some of you guys have been here 5, 10, 15, even 20 years under TPS. So you're telling me in all that time you didn't make any stride to become an American citizen?
Not strides.
Constantly getting extensions to do what? Nothing. To have children inside of the United States of America, them becoming citizens, but you're not a citizen. Why didn't you make any stride to become a citizen? Now you have these white liberals and these fake news false prophets out there stating that they're coming against black people. No, they're not coming against foundational black Americans, because you see, I was born here. That part. So they're not deporting me. I'm not worried about being ushered out of the country, okay? And this thing about Haitians built America, you are a liar and the truth is not in you. But then again,
Not the truth is not in you.
blacks on the left that's just going to run with the narrative. If you are Haitian American and you were naturalized and are born here, welcome to the country. This is your home.
Not
But
welcome
if
to the country.
you were not born here and you were under TPS, it's time to get the going, baby. You should have did what you were supposed to do when you had all that time to do it. Listen, nobody wants you unalive when you go back to your country. Definitely don't want that. But what were you doing when you were here with all that temporary protective status in all these years? You did not build America, okay? And I'm sick and tired of people saying things that are not true. Settlers and slaves built America. My ancestors built America,
Facts.
not yours. That's why I can't wait for the Supreme Court to make a decision on birthright citizenship, because some of y'all are benefiting off the backs of people that were not even your ancestors. And some of you stupid black people out there rallying for them, and you're just dumb. If you are working towards citizenship, I don't care if you stay, because I think that's commendable. You're doing what's right. But if you're here and you're not and you don't plan to, bye, Felicia. And you liberals quit putting us all in the same box. We are not the same. But 5, 10, 15, 20 years of temporary protective status? I think not. That's mean. No, what's mean is the people out there that say they're going to enter into every household in America. That's mean. And they got to go too, that part. And Mandani say he's standing 10 toes down with the Haitians. You know why? If they support him now, it'll be easier for them to bow to Islam later.
Conspiracy Keisha. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna leave this here for right now, man. So, but now I think again these are all like really fair questions, and we gotta like talk about stuff like this, because the thing is that we have to really make room for the fact that a lot of us are not in touch with like reality and what right from wrong really is. That's why people are divided on a subject like this, because again people are not acknowledging the fact that it's illegal to stay somewhere and you're not a citizen. That's why they have a process. You can't go nowhere and just stay because you want to stay. That's a really good question. What were you doing this whole time? But let me explain to you why these people didn't take those steps. When you live in poverty, right, you come from a certain mindset that propagates or perpetuates poverty. It's a whole mindset. Every day I have to fix my mind on winning and set myself up for winning and doing what I have to do to feel good, to get into that bag. Feeling good is the most important thing in the world. And I'm talking about feeling strong, feeling healthy. I don't mean, just necessarily just stimulation, right? But on top of that, I've come to the truth that, or I've come to realize the truth that yo, it's all on me. I have to change how I think. Poor people in general don't handle their business. Poor people in general do not do things the correct way. Poor people in general are more likely to break the law. And not only that, they're more likely to have a mindset of, it should be okay. Nothing should have to happen to me. Poor people also want something for nothing. I want my life to be better. I want your life to be better. But we can't support getting something for nothing. And another point I was gonna make was about speaking on the whole workforce. Those are all jobs that Americans could do, or that there's people who could do those jobs. Any job they're doing, there's no particular skill. They're working at Amazon as independent contractors. What the fuck you talking about? They stopping that single mother from making money doing Uber Eats because they here in full force on mopeds, riding around, you know what I'm saying, on bikes doing Uber Eats and DoorDash, Instacart, all that stuff. But they dominate that shit, bro. Uber, you know what I'm saying, Uber, Lyft, right? Like, listen, I do it all the time, and like, listen, it is what it is and whatnot. But like, wow, but it's interesting to experience. Like, wow, if this Haitian guy wasn't here doing Instacart with me, I would have gotten that order and made that $80. You know how I feel to watch a $80 order go across the screen? That mean that, yo, if you got that order, that mean you make it have a $200 a day, which is not common or possible up here. I don't know, but anyway, but yeah, man. So we're gonna build on this a little more later on and whatnot. I thought it'd be interesting to kind of get into this topic, man. But I just want to do a quick little show. You feel me? When you like the video, smash the like button, like the video, hype the video, all that stuff. Love y'all. Peace.
Yo, welcome back to Six Pass TV. Make sure to hit that subscribe, more content. We really appreciate your support.